be back. It's good to be back. It's good to be back in a tailgate downtown. Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. It's good to be back in a tailgate downtown. Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. It's good to be back in a tailgate downtown. It's good to be back in a tailgate downtown.
Welcome to another wonderful edition of Tailgate TV. Brad is laughing, but this is going to be wonderful. And we have a treat. We have a tiger.
Yes, a tiger from Rich Hill.
That was Brad's clue. Cue. Yeah.
Not going to happen today.
Okay.
Head coach Slade Coonce of the Lady Tigers down there in Rich Hill. I tell you, Slade, we're glad you came on. Appreciate you, and friend of the show, and also a fellow prepcaster. Yes, if that's the way you put that. Yeah, he's done a good job down there. Watch your all shows from time to time down there. Y'all do a good job. I know this year obviously took a little bit of a step away from that in order to coach the high school girls down there, and that's got to be exciting.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it. You got to go to work early and set things up, and then stay late and take things down. But it's been working just fine.
That's awesome. So, get right into the coaching part of it. And again, I know a lot of us that have coached in the past. What's something that you really enjoy hearing from maybe parents or the kids that helps you kind of? I think that got across, right? What kind of feedback do you like to hear from them?
Well, I like it anytime that a parent will tell me that they're playing ball at home. Anytime that it comes out of a basketball practice or games and into their home life, that's to me, that's, you got somebody that's dedicated to playing the game.
Absolutely. It was so important, right? Because you can only do so much in the time you have as a coach. Those kids need to be doing in there. So, what kind of things, again, moving from the prepcast side, now moving down onto the floor, what kind of things do you really enjoy in that? Do you enjoy practices? Do you enjoy the game time? Which one of those two things are kind of...
I'm always I like practice because we can do so much different variety of things, and I like to mix it up, and we try to keep our practices fast and stressful even at some point. But
sure.
But then, like tonight, we slowed it way down and we had fun. So you can do a lot of different things with basketball practice, and the main thing is to make sure those kids are still having a good time and wanting to be there.
So important, right, for them to really almost anticipate coming to practice, right? Because they know they're going to learn something, they know they're going to enjoy themselves. But because a lot of those kids, especially the kids that really want to get better, almost enjoy hard practices and intense practices because they know that's going to make them better for the long.
Yep. Now,
love that.
I will say the girls at first didn't know exactly what I was asking them to do because they hadn't been pushed the way I wanted to push them at the beginning. But now the practices that were so exhausting and hard on them, where they were just mentally and physically fatigued, are easy practices. They wouldn't probably accept a practice any other way now. So it's pretty fun to watch the mindset change.
Sure.
Well, and those are the practices that get you ready for the games. You talk about having to have some stressful practices thrown in because, when the game gets you, you got to be game ready.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I try to push them to the point of fatigue, mental fatigue. And that's when you start seeing errors and bad passes or just poor shot choice, trying to drive it into 2 or 3 when you should be passing. And we try to get to there at least 2 practices a week to that mental exhaustion. And we haven't let up since, a lot of people let up once games get started. I know the boys say they're not running at all. Our girls ran stairs 2 days last week. So we're still working hard. And I'm excited to see if we peak when we should be peaking, and I think we will.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you is the growth, right, that you see from the beginning of the year and now, even though we're still early in the year, we're not even to the Christmas break yet, but obviously after Christmas break, boy, then tournaments start coming fairly quickly, and before you know it, you blink and you're into districts. But What growth have you seen so far in these young ladies?
Well, I've seen the bottom half get stronger. The top half haven't grown as much, but there wasn't as much room for them to grow. And so the younger girls that haven't been around as much of it, they are soaking it all in, and they've all improved.
Well, and outside of watching them grow this season, I mean, you've invested in the youth of Rich Hill and surrounding areas for a long time. I mean, coaching some youth teams and some different things. I mean, so a lot of these girls, are these a lot of girls you're familiar with from that?
I've had, the freshman group, I coached when they were in third grade, started with them in third grade. So I've had all the kids on my team at some point in the past. And so that kind of makes it to where at least we know what we're getting involved with as far as what they can expect from me and what I can expect from them. Yeah,
and that understanding and kind of trust of I trust Slade's going to do me well because he has in the past. I trust Slade knows what he's talking about because he's coached me before. I think that, when we have different coaches on, they always talk about that trust players have. And I think, you've built that for a long time with these girls, and I think that's something that's valuable.
I'm 100% confident that every one of my players know I care about them.
Yeah.
So important. So, again, even though we're early in the season, is there something or some one of the kiddos that's surprised you?
I'll tell you, the player that surprised me the most was one I thought I knew, but I didn't know her as well as I thought I did, and that was Izzy Swope. She's been to everything that we've had, with the exception of a couple of things, and that was because she went to national convention and FFA and made up her, practices before and after practice to make it up. But her attitude, we had some hot summer camps with no air conditioning in that old gym, and it was very, very hot. Yes, very hot. And lots of the girls complained or whined about something along the way, whether being tired or hot or whatever it was, but not her. And she's proven to be our leader on our team. And because of that, she's one of our captains.
Watched her at the Butler tournament, and I was really, not that I wasn't impressed with your whole team, because I was, but I saw her and saw her do some things a couple of times. Like, boy, she's really working hard, really doing some of the stuff that maybe some of the other girls don't want to do, because you have to have those players.
Yeah, you got to do the dirty work.
Yeah, exactly.
And Izzy's got a good work ethic, and that, along with the not complaining, showed up to work and does every single day, and runs all of her sprints to the max of her, what I'm asking her. So good job for her.
That's awesome. That makes coaching easier, doesn't it?
No, man.
You have kids like that.
We're going to be back with more questions for Slade after this quick break.
CNS Graphics is happy to once again be serving Butler and surrounding areas. We are back and ready to serve you. We specialize in poster-worthy sport edits, but can help assist you in any of your graphic design needs. Find us on Facebook today, or call or text Cody at 479-385-1120 and let us create a custom graphic that you can cherish for a lifetime. And remember, your graphics deserve to be cool and stylish.
And we're back after that break. Slade, I was just curious if you could have a cup of coffee with any coach and just sit and pick his brain.
I think, I don't know, so I'd probably be booed by some people around here, but I think Bill Self. I think he's had an opportunity to work with a variety of athletes from different backgrounds, all of them very talented, but he himself has been around the game at the high level, and he has, I'm sure he has a lot to offer. If you had to ask him anything, he would have in-depth answer on it.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt that at all. I think that's a pretty good answer.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. Bill Self, he even, and again, as high school coaches know, you have turnover every year in your program. Well, that's what they're doing at the Division I level every year. Turnover, and especially when you have the talent he has, you're losing guys to the draft portal now. So you're coaching new groups of players every year, and so that I think Bill Self does a really nice job. And I'm not a Kansas fan, but a good job when you see one.
Yeah, that was Bill Self, not Bill Suff.
What I say, Self
people.
Yeah. But
well, I was curious. and you may have already talked about a little bit with Izzy, but the leadership of this team. You know, we've watched them very limited. We watched them at the Butler tournament, watched them play a couple games. But just from what I saw, it looked like, you know, you got in some moments where maybe they weren't performing the way they wanted to or knew they could. And it looked like there was kind of some leaders that stepped up and kind of pushed through that. I mean, what's kind of the leadership and the character of this team that you've seen?
Right now, they've all bought into buying what I'm selling. I told them no matter what I'm selling, they need to be the first in line, money in hand, flashing, be the first one to buy. And I said, even if it sounds ridiculous, still buy, because there's a reason why I'm asking you to do any of the things I'm asking you to do. And so far, they're still buying, but we need to have some success here soon, or it's going to be hard to sell.
They may be wanting refunds.
Yeah, they may be wanting some refunds. So, anyways, especially before conference, because our conference is tough, and I think if we don't see a little success before then, it's going to be hard for them to buy into the end of the season.
Now, what's your conference look like? Who's in your conference? You're still in the WeMo conference?
Yeah, we're in the WeMo. Okay. We've got Appleton City, and I'd say they're probably the one to beat. Although we also have Adrian, who's tough. Archie, who beat Appleton City the other day. I mean, there's a pretty tough conference, and so I think once we head into conference, I think we're going to have our work cut out for us. And not saying that they can't do it. I'm just saying it's going to be difficult. And we know we honestly, I hate to look past any other opponent, but Appleton City is also in our district. So we know we have to face them if we're going to get out of districts. And so I use Appleton almost daily to compare us to them. And I don't think, if we can't beat our JV boys before come time to play Appleton, we're not going to be ready for Appleton.
Yeah. Appleton, they've got a young team that I think is a pretty good team. But watching you guys, I mean, I think have the talent if everybody, as you said, continues to buy in and put it together. I mean, I think you've got some players on your Rich Hill team.
And we're close. A few games that we've lost, with the exception of the Hume game, and that was on me because I set one of our better players for 3/4 of the game. So we may not won that game, but we wouldn't have been beat by as much as we did. So I own that one. But the other games that we were in, we were close. The Butler game, we could have won either way. We were right there. Just had about 3 minutes of error. The Raytown game, all but the last 4 minutes, were pretty good. And so I think we're doing all the things we need to do. We just need to put it together for the full 4 quarters, start to finish. And once we do that, then I think we'll start seeing some success.
Yeah. Well, and you've coached a lot of folks throughout the years. And so I'm kind of curious, what's a trait that you enjoy most in a player that you're coaching? What's something you look for and you're like, I can coach her?
Coachability, for sure. You have to have somebody that don't know more than you or don't think they know more than you. I know that I don't know all there is to know about basketball for sure. But I know that if there's an area that I need to grow, that I'm going to be researching it and trying to do the best I can to help a player out. And I've had several players come to me over the years and want to work on something I wasn't familiar with. And, you know, you can look up anything on the internet. And so with just in a few hours, you'll find 2 or 3 drills to help out somebody. And it's not that hard to try to help a player. So I like coachability. If somebody's willing to listen and try what you're asking, that's all you can ask from somebody.
I think that is getting to be more of a rare trait to find, but I definitely think it's one that's a good thing to have.
Yep.
It's so important, right, to have kiddos really, as you say, buy in and then want to be taught, right? Being coachable. Because sometimes you get kids that maybe they believe in you as a coach, but maybe there's other things that are drawing them away, or other things that they hear other things, right, that distract them from what you're trying to coach. And then there's some of those kids that don't ever buy in, right? And those, I hate those kids, not hate them, but I hate that attitude because you feel like you lose them, right? You're just like, we can do so much together if you just come along, jump on board.
Almost feel like they missed out a little.
Yes, absolutely. Because it's, again, high school sports, and not everybody's going to go to college and play, right? But high school sports, so important. It teaches you so many great things in life. And if they'll just have a great attitude about it, because I don't know, and I'm sure there are, right? Because there's all kinds, but I don't know of any coaches that get into coaching because they don't enjoy kids and they don't enjoy the sport that they're coaching, right? But it's sometimes that you feel like that kids and parents and other coaches, even maybe both of us have traveled with coaching with out of high school, but sometimes you see those coaches, you're like, I don't understand why you're coaching. I don't know if it's for the money, because Lord, evidently I'm in the wrong thing, because I wouldn't spend my time for that. But it's enjoyable to do, right? And
I love it.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoyed it as well. So, we talked about again early in the season, but what kind of? And we talked about the Swopes girl. Have there been other areas that you've seen the team as a whole kind of improve on, or strength of the team that you see is kind of?
Well, we talked earlier of the bottom half getting stronger.
Right.
The mental part of the basketball game is as much of it as anything, and I've seen the confidence level in my players. Almost, some of them they would probably say maybe a hair too much confidence now. One of them particularly came up. We call her D1. If that tells you anything about her confidence.
Right.
So anyway, she said, my confidence was lacking early in the year. And she said, now, Coach, I think I almost have too much confidence.
And if she thinks that she has too much confidence,
She probably does. That is no kidding. That's hilarious. What a great story.
so we have some fun stuff here to end with.
All right.
We do this every episode. We got some funky questions, and sponsored by O3 Customs. Check them out. They supply all of our hats, do a great job. But we used to do either an over-under segment, a would you rather, or a true or false.
Okay.
We've started combining them all, so now we have one of each of those.
It's a crapshoot.
It is.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I'm good at crapshoots.
Okay. So we're gonna start with an over-under.
All right.
On average, people spend over or under $120 per trip to the grocery store.
Oh, I'd say over.
What do you think the number is?
140.
Close.
Pretty good.
155. I was surprised. I thought it'd be more than that. I mean, groceries are going up. We're going to ask you on that note, what's the best grocery store in Rich Hill?
Oh, you know that one. The only one in town is a supermarket, and it's got the best beet department in Bates County. I will say that.
That's what I've heard. We figured we'd let you rep that a little bit. See, if you know this, what grocery chain has the most grocery stores in Missouri? They have just under 100.
Probably Price Chopper.
They have like 90-something, just under 100 stores. True or false? Sonic was founded and is headquartered in Mississippi.
True.
No.
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Why they put mustard on everything?
That's probably why.
It's an Oklahoma and Texas
Is
thing.
it?
Oh, yeah. Whataburger, same thing. Mustard, they love it down there.
Okay. I thought Whataburger was known for their ketchup.
Yes, but they put mustard on their burger.
They put mustard on their ketchup.
Okay.
Would you rather wear a fitted cap or a snapback?
I like snapback.
Okay. Last question. We'll see how you get on this one. If you were to tell your girls that you were moving practice, if you were supposed to have practice at noon, and you told your girls you were going to move practice 2 hours forward, when are you having practice?
If I told them that it was going to be at noon and I was moving it 2 hours forward, we'd be at 10 a.m.
Thank you. You heard it here first. Moving it forward in the day.
That's exactly right.
We would like to thank all of our sponsors. We also like to thank Slade for coming in and talking with us, giving his time. Also giving his time to invest in the youth and invest in athletics in Rich Hill. We appreciate what you're doing out there.
Thank you for having me.
But we'd like to thank CNS Graphics, Butler Sonic, Butler Chamber of Commerce, O3 Customs, Emmanuel Baptist Church, and Mid-America Live. We appreciate all of those guys, and we'll see you on the next episode of Tailgate TV.